Okay, so hello everyone. This is day 13 of our full stack data science and Gen AI and Agentic AI playlist, right? So, and this is the day 13. Okay, so in this day 13, we will discuss very important topic, which is linear regression. Okay, so what is linear regression? Okay, why do we need it? What is dependent variable? What is independent variable? What is simple linear regression? What is multi-linear regression? We will discuss all of. Okay, so let me tell you the agenda first, what we are going to discuss throughout this video. Okay, and this is basic and this is one of the important topic. Okay, because in data science you cannot miss basics, right? So we will study about what is linear regression. Okay, so I'll tell you with examples as well, right? I will give you real-time example so that you can easily correct it. Next is why we need it. Okay, why we need it means if we are learning linear regression, so what is the importance? Why we need linear regression? Okay, the next point we have to discuss, which is what is dependent variable. And what is independent variable. Okay, and we will understand about x what is x and what is y, or we can say what are x, what are x and y, right? Next we will understand which is simple linear regression, and after that we will understand multi multiple linear regression, correct? Okay, and after that we will see one example, which is example using family concept. Okay, we'll try to connect the example with the family example, and then we will connect this concept with another example, which is example using house house price prediction. Okay, house price prediction, we will do it on Excel. Okay, all right, so these are all the things we have to study in today's video. Okay, so let's start today's lecture with very basic concept. Okay, then we will deep dive into the what we can say in this linear regression concept. Okay, because our revision is one of the important thing. Okay, so I make sure like you guys can revise all the things whenever we are stepping on another step. So if someone asks you, let me ask you some important question, frequently asked question, FAQs. Okay, so as a data scientist, as a junior data scientist, or as a mid-level data scientist, so some questions can be asked you at any time. Okay, let's suppose if somebody asks you what is data, so very simple answer is data is information. What is data? Data is information. Like, can you please tell me example of it? Anything we can store in a computer. Okay, that is what data. The thing which we can store in a computer, that is data, right? Example. Example. Can you please give the clear-cut example of it? So you can give examples like name. Name we can store in a computer. age we can store in a computer. So these all are data. Marks, right? Photos, videos, okay, songs, right? WhatsApp messages, right? Etc. So this is the example of data, okay, right? And next is, if someone asks you what is data science, I already told you about this, but for the revision purpose, let's try to understand it also. So data science is what? Data science is what? Data science means data science means learning from data. Okay, we learn from the data. In data science, what we do actually, we learn from the data. We predict some pattern from the data. We try to give example to our machine learning model, and based on that example, our model predict future, right? Let me give you simple example of it. Simple example. So what is simple example? For example, checking marks of all subject. Okay, so if you will check the marks of your all subject, then you will find which subject is weak and which subject is strong based on the marks. Okay, subject is strong and weak. Okay, so checking marks of all subjects. So what you are doing, you are analyzing the data, you are checking the marks of each subject. Subject marks are what? Data. On based on data, for example, there are three students and there are two students who has a very poor score in mathematics, but there is one student who have very good score in mathematics. So what you will say? You will say that that particular person is strong in that subject, and those two persons are weak in math subject. So like that you can predict. Okay. So this is what? This is data science in a small way. Okay, like that you can explain. Okay, real-time examples of data science. Real, or we can say real life examples. What are the real life examples of data science? Okay, if you already know, you can tell the examples. Otherwise, you can update your knowledge as well. So first example we can say Amazon suggestions products. Okay, so Amazon product suggestion is what? It is the example, real-time example of data science. So what happens? Basically, it learn what you like. Okay, so that model learn what you like, where you are clicking. Okay, so like that, based on click, it will suggest you the product. Okay, let's suppose another example is what? YouTube recommendation. Okay, so how YouTube recommends the videos? How YouTube recommends the videos? It studies, it studies your watching history. Okay, based on your watching history, what content you are consuming, based on that, it recommend you videos. Okay, so it recommends you the relevant videos. Okay, so what is data science? What is data science means? Data science means, we can say now, understanding data plus making decision. So that is the clear cut definition of data science. Understanding the data, or we can say understanding the past data, or understanding the examples, and making the decision whether user will purchase the product or not, or whether the user will watch the video or not. Okay. Next question is, you might be thinking like, sir, you said like you will teach linear regression, but why you are not starting linear regression? I can start. Okay, but these are the as I said, this is not just a video, this is a training course, so I don't worry about the length of the video. I just worry about like, are you guys revising the thing or not? Like, are everyone is give understanding the clarity, everyone having the clarity or not? That is the important part, right? So if you will have clarity, then you can based on that clarity you can learn anything, you can learn by yourself as well, right? So clarity is one of the important key factor to learning any technology. Okay, next question I will write here: why do companies use data science? Okay, now I hope you guys will be able to answer this question. Okay, because this is the simple questions can be asked to the beginners. Okay, so what are the very simple reasons? So very simple reasons is what you can say. Number one reason you can say, to predict what customer want. Okay. Why do we need data science? To predict what customer want. And here is the business. How business will grow. If you will understand your customer need, if you don't know the if you don't know your customer need, then how your business will grow. Right? So to predict the customer want, and to save time and money. Okay, if we will suggest a relevant product, relevant things to the customer, it will save time and money. Okay, we will not produce unnecessary things. To remove to remove, okay, I mean to improve services. Okay, so like that we can improve the services as well. And we can say, to understand customer behavior. Okay, so if someone asks you why do company use data science, so what points you can, any 2 points you can communicate: to predict what customer want, to save time and money of the customer and organization, to improve the services, and to understand customer behavior. Okay, so these are the answer you can give. And one more question is there, frequently asked question: what is machine learning? Okay, means you're learning data science. Although we didn't start machine learning topic, but maybe this question can be asked to you. So basic understanding you should have, rather than having the deep knowledge into it right now, but the basic understanding you should have. So what is machine learning? So machine learning means teaching a computer to learn from examples. Okay, learn from examples. What are the examples? We can say like examples like, for example, you have seen pictures of cat. Okay, so when in your childhood you have seen so many pictures of the cat, then you understand in real time like how cat exactly look like. When you see another cat, you definitely can see this is the cat, because it is belonging to your past examples. Okay, so what you can say, you see many pictures of cats. Okay, now what you can do, you learn to identify a cat. Okay, you identify to a cat. Okay, similarly, a computer sees many pictures of cats. Okay, it also learns to identify a cat or cat. Okay, so like that. So see, if we are seeing so many examples, pictures of dog, we will be able to understand. We will be able to identify what is how dog look likes. Similarly, computer also take many pictures as a data, and based on that data, it identify that particular object. So that is what machine learning. Machine understand with past examples. Okay, so what you can say, you in more simple way you can say machine learning machine learning is equals to, we can say machine learning is computer learns patterns from data. Okay, pattern from data is what example. Here data is what, cat is a data. Okay, means pictures of cat is data, right? So computer learns pattern from data. Patterns like it has legs, how the how cat looks like, what is the height of the cat. Okay, so like that, these are what patterns, and give answers. I hope you are getting the clarity what is machine learning. Okay, so this is the super simple example which you can use if someone asks you. Basically, people want to know whether do you have basic understanding of that or not. Okay, but we will start machine learning, we will understand in more proper way. Okay, next question could be asked like, can you please tell me real-time example of machine learning where it could be asked. Okay, so real life examples of machine learning. Okay, so what are the real-time examples of machine learning? We can say it is used in your face lock, face unlock. So how it works? So in phone what it does? Phone learns your face. Okay, so phone learn your face. Once you enable the face lock, so you show your face to your mobile, and it understand the pattern of your face. Okay, and then it remember it, right? So it is used in face unlock. And then we can say spam email detection. It can be used in email detection. Okay, spam email detection, which is spam or not. And Netflix, YouTube recommendations. It can be used in recommendation as well, this machine learning model, right? And it can be used in self-driving cars. Okay, so these are the real-time examples, right? Okay, so now let's start our topic. Actually, what we have to discuss, let's try to start it now. Okay, just a minute, guys. Okay, so let's understand our topic, which is what is linear regression. Okay, so in order to understand the linear regression, you have to understand one of the important key. Okay, what is linear regression? Okay, okay, in a linear regression, okay, so in linear regression, what we do, we predict. Okay, we predict. There is X and there is Y. Okay, so if something change in X, so it affect to the Y. Okay, so what I'm trying to say, let's try to understand it with example. Like imagine you want to you want to predict something. Okay, let's suppose you want to predict something. For example, what you want to predict? Examples are like you want to predict marks based on study hours. You can predict, no? We can predict the marks of the student based on study hours, like how many hours a student is studying. Based on that, we can predict the marks. Okay. Okay. Similarly, we can predict what we can predict. Similarly, we can predict salary based on experience. Okay, so like if employee having 1 year experience, you can predict the salary, and if employee is having 10 years of experience, you can predict the salary. Okay, next example we can say predict predict house price predict house price based on location. Okay, square feet, etc. Okay, square feet or near metro, or we can say near metro, near school. Okay, so etc, near airport, like that we can predict the house price. Okay, these are the factors which through we can predict the house price based on location. Okay, what's the location, what's the square feet. Okay, so what is the mean of prediction? So prediction prediction is done using linear regression. Okay, how we do these prediction? Using the linear regression. Okay, so the prediction, whenever when there is a time to predict something based on some past data, okay, based on some particular features, what we do? We do the linear regression, right? So what we can say, what is linear regression? So linear regression, right? So what is the definition of linear regression in simple way? Linear regression helps the computer to learn the relationship between things. Okay, so when the study hours more, what will be the marks? So this is the prediction, future prediction. Experience is X, then what will be the salary? Location is that, then what will be the house price? Okay, so like that we predict. Okay, and here you will see one more thing. Okay, but before this, let me give you one example. Let me open here Excel. Okay, so I do have this sheet software, but you can also open Excel. No worry about it. Okay, so what you can do, you can open the Excel and you can do what I'm doing, right? So this is what Excel, and here Excel, let's try to understand one prediction. Okay, so let's suppose there is a house price. We will understand house price prediction. Okay, so let me just write here, like let's suppose we have one name column, second we have age column, and then we have location, then okay, and then after that, after location we have square feet. Okay, then we have, okay, we have shops. Okay, shops is a attribute, then we have school as an attribute, and then we have metro, and then price of the house, and we have like skin of the buyer. Okay, skin skin color, and then hair color, and then we have weight height weight and mobile number. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to create one data set. Okay, I'm trying to create one data set, and that data set is nothing but house pricing data set. This is what house price data set, right? So let me just make it dark. Okay, so here let's suppose we have some name here. Okay, let me just, I'm telling you what I'm teaching you here, linear regression, how linear regression works in real life. That is I'm telling you. Okay, so that is the agenda basically. Okay, so let's suppose name is Raju. Okay, and name is, let's suppose age is 24. Location, let's suppose this is in prime location. Okay, so it is the prime location. uh, okay, the property owner name is Raju, age is 24, and location is prime. Square feet is, let's suppose 200, or we can say 1 120 square feet, and near shop is there, I mean market is there, you can say near market. Okay, so market is there, yes. School, let's suppose school is near. No, school is not near. Metro is near, yes, metro is near. Let's suppose what's the price of this house, 1 cr. Okay, the price of this house is what, 1 cr, and the skin color of the home of that person is what, let's suppose W, and hair color is what, B means black, and height is what, 6 point, okay, maybe we can say 5.8 is the height, and weight is what, for 78 kg, and mobile number is what, Let's suppose 1234. Okay, so this is a mobile number. So see, what's the price here of the house? We are talking about here. Here we are talking about, just wait. Okay, so let's suppose there is another customer, and the customer name is like ABC, right? And another customer name is XYZ. Another customer name is hmm, okay, AA, and the age of this customer is, let's suppose, 34, and the age of this customer is 22. This customer age is we don't know, and the location of this urban area. Okay, so this house location is what urban area. Okay, and next is what the square feet is 200 square feet, and the market is near, no information given. The school is near, no information is given. Metro is near, no, answer is no. The price of this house is 2 cr. Okay, and the skin color of the customer is, or we can say, we don't have information of this, right? And the mobile number is like this. Okay, so we have the mobile number. So we have some missing data as well. In this data set we have missing data. And what data set it is? It is house pricing data set. So this is the data of customers we are creating. Okay, so why I am creating this? Because I want to tell you the linear regression through this example. That is why we are writing this. Okay, so the location is, let's suppose this is a prime location, this is urban location, this is like 300 square feet, this is the 400 square feet, and the information is missing here, and school information is also missing here. Okay, but let's suppose here is school is yes. Okay, all right, so school is yes, and metro is yes, and the price is, the house price is like 3 cr. Okay, and the customer skin color is, this customer skin color, let's suppose uh, black. Okay, hair color is, let's suppose, we don't have information, or you can say white. Okay, height information is not there, and you can write here. Okay, so the last customer information is, so the market is near to the house. Okay, let's suppose first write the age is, let's suppose 30. Okay, so market is there, no information has given. The price is like 4 cr, and this is also the information has given. Let's suppose weight is 90,000, I mean 90 kilogram, and the mobile number is this. Okay, so where is the missing value? So these are the missing values we have in our data set. This is the missing value we have in our data set. So the simple question, if I ask you, so this is which data set? This is price house price data set. This is the data set of house price. If I ask you, this data is ready for model building, is this data ready for model building? Can we say this model, this data is ready to build model? No, it is not ready for building machine learning model. Why? Because this data containing missing data, and if this data is containing missing data, means this is what this is raw data. Okay, so this is the raw data, And let me tell you what is we can say dependent variable and what is independent variable. Let's suppose here is the price. Here is what price of the houses. Okay, so house price will increase. The house price will increase when what will happen if the house location is prime, if the house area is big and the market is near, school is near, metro is near, then these all the attributes, okay, these all the attribute will affect the price of the house, right? So here we can say, here what we can say, here we can say house price is what dependent variable. Okay, if I'm writing here by y, so y means it means depend, house price depend on, so house y is what dependent. Okay, house is I mean like price is what dependent variable we can say, and this age, location, square feet, market, school, independent variable. Why I'm telling you this? Why? Because whatever the, let me tell you this. Okay, so see, this is the house price. Okay, so when house price will increase, location matters or not for increasing the price? Square feet, it matters, right? Market, is the house near to the market? It also matters. School is near to the house, it is also matter. Metro is near to the house, it also matters. So these all are the factors are what they are doing, they are affecting to the price. Okay, so here price is what dependent variable which is depend to these particular columns, these particular attributes. But the skin color of the customer, will it affect to the y? Will it affect to the price? No. The hair color of the customer, will it affect to the y? No. The height of the customer, will it affect to the y? It will also no. Weight of the customer will affect to the price, house price? No. Mobile number, will it affect? No. So what are the relevant attribute here? So let me tell you. So y is what dependent variable, and these are what, this is, let's suppose, x1, this is x2, this is x3, and this is x4, and this is x5, and this is x6. So these all are the these all are the variables which will affect y. So these are what dependent variable. These are what? These are the dependent variable. Okay, what we call them? Dependent variable. Okay, so I hope you are understanding, guys. Let me write it properly. Okay, so here this concept is not finished. If you are not still understanding, you will get more clarity about it. Let's suppose this is what, let's suppose this is the x1, this is the x1, this is the x2, okay, and this is the x3, this is the x4, and this is x5, and this is the x6, and this is x7. Okay, so these all are the dependent variable. What we call them? Dependent variables. Okay, why? I mean, these are what independent variables. Sorry, I said wrongly. These all are the independent variable, but why is the dependent variable? The dependent variable is one of the variable which affect on the independent variables. For example, let me give you one more example in order to get more clarity about it. Okay, let's try to understand what is actually mean of dependent variable and what is the actual mean of independent variable. Okay, so let me give you the clarity of it. Okay, so let's try to understand here. We always have two types of variables. How many types of variables? We have two types of variables. Okay, what are the two types? One is dependent variable. Second is independent variable. Okay, so what is dependent variable and what is independent variable? So dependent variable, we can say y is what? Dependent variable. Okay, and x is what? X is a independent variable. Okay, so let me tell you, y means dependent variable. Okay, y is a dependent variable because y is a y is the target. Y is what we want to predict. Okay, y is what? Predicted variable, predicted. Okay, for example, here what we are predicting? Here we are predicting house price. What we are predicting, guys? We are predicting house price. Okay, so price is what? Dependent variable. Okay, na? So price is what? Dependent variable, we can say. And we can say y, and we can say y is y change because of x. Okay, if these x will change, means if the location, square feet, market, school, if these values will change, the house price will affect. Okay, means dependent variable will change. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, next let's see x. So x is what? Independent variable. Okay, so what is the mean of independent variable? So independent variable means x is the input. Okay, so for example, you are studying 5 hours per day. What will be the y? Can you tell me what will be the y? For example, you are in 10th class and you are paying 5 hours. You are doing 5 hours of study. Y is the result. What will be the result? And let's suppose you are in 10th class, you are studying 8 hours per day. What will be the result? So result is y. So x is input. Okay, so x is what? We can consider x is an input and x affects y. Okay, and we can say does not x does not depend on y. Okay, x does not depend on y. Okay, see, y is dependent. Y means result is dependent on x, but x is not dependent on results. Okay, what I'm trying to say here. So see, so y will, if you will, what I'm trying to say, if you are changing this x, right, and if you are changing the x, so other x will not be affected. who will affect? Y will affect. Okay, whenever you are changing to the when you are changing to the X to the dependent variable, then independent variable will affect it, right? Okay, in simple way, what we can say? In simple way, we can say Y, Y depends on X, X does not depend on Y, right? Okay, for example, let me give you one more example to understand. Let's suppose, okay, so let's suppose there is one family. There is one family. Okay, in the family, there are two members. Family has two members. Okay, so what are the two members? One is father. Okay, one second is mother. Okay, so mother is homemaker and father runs a business. Okay, so can you please find what is dependent variable and what is independent variable? So what is dependent variable? Father is dependent variable. So father is what? Y. Father here is what? Y. Why father is dependent variable? Because if father, like what I'm trying to say, the mother's lifestyle totally depends on father. Okay, so it's totally depend on income. Okay, so if it is earning good, so he will provide a good lifestyle. If it is not earning more, then it will not be able to provide good lifestyle. Okay, so father is depend. So father is what? Dependent variable. Means dependent variable always affect. So for example, if mother is doing lot of shopping and also who will affect? Father will affect. Okay, dependent variable will affect. And and we can say mother is what? Mother is X means independent variable. Okay, so we can say dependent variable. So I'll give you more example to understand if you are facing issue to understand. And this is what independent variable. Okay, what does it mean? What does it means? What is the meaning of this example I have given to you? Meaning of this example is father's father's result depends on mother's input. Okay, all right. So we can say this is what simple example of linear regression. Okay, so let's suppose, let me give you one more example. This is the family one, and let's suppose, and there is one more family which is family two, right? So in this family, let's suppose family has four members. Okay, four members. So four members are nothing but four attributes. Okay, so these are four attributes, or you can say feature, or you can say variable, or you can say columns. Okay, and here first attribute is what? The first is father, second is mother, third is son, and fourth is daughter. Okay, third is daughter. I mean fourth is daughter. So can you please tell me what is dependent variable and what is independent variable? So see here Father is the only dependent variable. Means father is what? Father is y. What is mother? Mother is independent variable, and son is independent variable, right? And daughter is independent variable. Okay, so this is what? Mother is x, son is x, and daughter is x, and father is what? Y. So what is the formula of linear regression? Y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so y here is what? Y is what? Dependent variable. Y is what? Dependent variable, and x is what? Independent. Okay, independent variable. You can understand like this. Y equals to x. Okay, means here is what? Independent, and this is what? Dependent variable. Okay, so I hope you're understanding. I hope you're getting clarity here. So if I ask you what is father, so father is y. Okay, dependent variable, and mother is what? Independent variable. Okay, and son is also independent variable. So let's suppose x2 we can say, and this is the x1 we can say, right? And daughter is also what? Independent variable, x3. Okay, so these are the independent variable which affect to the father through the dependent variable. Independent variable can affect to the dependent variable. Okay, so let's understand simple regression, simple linear regression, and multilinear regression. Simple linear regression is the example of this family. Okay, so if you will convert this equation in maths, so in maths how you will write? In maths you will write here y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so mx plus c. So here you understand already, like what is y, what is x, what is m. You don't need to worry about it, but I'll tell you here. Okay, I'll tell you m and x, what is m and what is x, right? Let's understand the linear, I mean no, multilinear regression. Okay, in multilinear regression means we have one y and multiple x. As you can see this family example, here we have multiple x. Okay, in this example also you can see we have multiple x. Okay, this is also known as x. Okay, so this is x8, x9, x10, and this is x11, and this is x12. Okay, so these all are the x. So you cannot write now, you cannot write. Okay, in this situation, you cannot write y equals to mx plus c. If you will write y equals to mx plus c, so y equals to mx plus c means mx plus c means which x you are talking about. Which x you are talking about? We have multiple x here. So which particular x you are talking about? So we cannot write like this. So how we will write? We will write m1 plus m1x1 plus m2x2, okay, plus like that we will write. Okay, and then we can say, okay, so when I'm saying this m1 and x2, so multiplication is there in between. Okay, so like that you will write. Okay, so for example, in this example, how you will write, how you will create the math equation here, how you will create the maths equation. So if you will create the maths equation like this, y equals to m1 x1, okay, plus m2 x2 plus, okay, because we have 3x now, we have three independent variables. So m3 and x3. Okay, so this is how you will write the math equation. Okay, so this is known as, so this example is what? Multiple linear regression. Okay, so this is the example of multiple linear regression. And this is the example of what? This is the example of, this is the example of simple linear regression. I hope you are understanding what the difference between simple linear regression and multilinear regression. So this is what simple linear regression example, where only one x you can find, but in multilinear regression you can find multiple x. X means dependent, I mean independent variables, right? Now the question is, you are seeing here like m and x. Okay, plus c also will come. Okay, in last plus c is also there. Okay, here also plus c. Yeah, I have written plus c. So let's try to understand what is m and c. You might be confusing what is m and what is c in linear regression, right? So let's try to understand them also. Okay, so we can say here we are writing what? In linear regression, we are writing y equals to mx plus c. Okay, so here m is what? M means slope. Okay, slope means how fast y changes when x changes, right? So we can say m tells how much y will increase or decrease when x increase by 1. Okay, so this is a slope. M is what? M is a slope which tells how fast or how slow the, see this, M tells how much y will increase or decrease when x increase by 1. Okay, so it tells M tells how fast x changes, how fast x is changing. Here you can see we have multiple x, x1, x2, x3. So about like how fast x is increasing, the information tell by the slope, which is m, right? Okay, so now let's see what is c. C is what? C means intercept. C is what? Intercept means starting point of y when x is 0. Okay, so we can say c is the value of y even before x starts. Okay, so this is the, c is the value of y. Okay, like earlier value of y before starting the x. Okay, So for example, if I write here c is equals to 20, if I'm writing c equals to 10, 20, when x is 0, then y is what? 20, right? Right. So for example, like you are studying 0 hours, means you are not studying at all, but still you are getting 10 marks. So what is that 10? So 10 is C, right? Right. So hope you are understanding. So what we can say, C is what? C is a base value, or we can say C is what? Starting value, the starting value. Okay, so I can understand you guys are not able to understand C, M, and this y equals to mx. Some of you cannot understand who don't know the things earlier, maths earlier. But let me tell you with very basic example so that you can easily understand it. So let's suppose I'm giving you very ultra easy example to understand linear regression, uh, linear regression words, which is y x m c. Okay, so let's try to understand these all the words with an example. So let's suppose I'm taking one example so everyone can connect through it. Please focus everyone if you really want to understand it. Let's suppose I'm writing here one equation. I'm writing here y equals to 5, y equals to 5x plus 20. Okay, so y equals to 5x plus 20, right? So can you please tell me what is initial y value? Let's suppose when x is 0, when x value is 0, can you tell me what is the y value? So if x is 0, okay, so 0 multiply by 5, so it will become 0. 0 plus 20 is what? 20. So here initial y value is what? 20. Are you guys understanding? So what is here c? What is c? C equals to 20. So what I said, when x is 0, then initial y value is 20, and that is the c value. So what is the c value? C value is the base value. C value is a base value of y, right? Let's suppose let's suppose in example 2, let's suppose when x value is 1, okay, then can you please tell me what will be the y value? What will be the y value? So x is 1, so 5 into 1, 5 plus 20, so 25. So what is y value now? Y value is what? 25. And what is the c value? C value is 20. Are you understanding what is x and what is y? So let's take another example. When x is 2, so 5 into 2 is what? X value is 2. 5 into 2 is what? 10. Okay, 10 plus 20, 30. Right? So y value is what? Y value is 30. And what is the c value? C value is 20. So whenever x is increasing, y is also increasing. When x is 0, So y value is c value. C value means base value. Once x is increasing, y also increasing. When x is increasing, y is also increasing. So each time y is increasing, how much? Each time whenever you are increasing the x value by 1, it is increasing, means what it happening? By 5. Okay, x, I mean y is increasing by 5. When x value is 2, so y is increasing by 5. So what is this 5? So this 5 is what? M. This 5 is what? M. This is the slope. Okay, so 5 is what? M. So x will increase by m. Okay, so m is a slope which tells how much increase or decrease, how fast x will increase or decrease. Let's suppose if it is instead of 5, if it is, let's suppose 50, right? So how fast x will increase now? So it's depend on what? It depends on m. Okay, what's the equation? Y equals to mx plus c, right? So m is what? M is what? Slope. And x depends on m, like how fast increase or decrease x. It depends on m value. When I'm writing here 2, so now x is increasing slow. Why? Because when you will give x value 0 or 1, so 22, y will become 22 in this case. But when you are writing it as 50, so when you will increase by x by 1, it will give the twice results, means 50. When x value will be 1, so y will be 25. So m depends like how x will change, how fast or slow x will change to the dependent variable. Okay, so I hope, are you guys clear about it? Okay. Okay, so in the next video we will discuss more examples about it. But till then, you just practice this all today's examples. Okay, so let me upload this on Classroom as well. Okay, so I hope you guys have joined these classes. If you haven't joined, you can use this like code. Okay, class code you can use to join the Google Classroom. So let me see how many people have been joined. Okay, so Akib Ahmed, Lakshman, Manikanta. Okay, this gamer is there. Hamdard, Anil, Nitin. Okay, so many students has came. Okay, so let me just upload today's notes as well. So today is day 13th. Okay, day 13th. Good. Notes up to day 13th. See. Okay, let me just attach the file. Okay, so I have loaded the notes till day 13. So thank you everyone for giving your valuable time. Please practice and be strong in your basic concepts, okay, and we will learn so many examples. We'll create the model also, but we should know the some concept of linear regression and all, because these are the basics, and basics are always important to learn anything. Okay, so thank you everyone for giving your valuable time.